Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I'm Andy Signor, and man, I did not think the election would get this spicy, but it sure has. Right now, as of taping, it is still undecided. However, if they were to count the votes and stop the counting, which our president is alluding he would like to do, Joe Biden would be our president. And that's a shock for a lot of people because overnight, he wasn't leading. Donald Trump was leading. Now, look, I don't want to get in the weeds of the politics here. I'm going to have some thoughts on this, but the hypocrisy of Hollywood is what I titled this and what I focused on. But I'm really going to actually talk about the hypocrisy of both sides on here because it's frustrating. And I just want to vent. It's my channel. That's what we do. Look, if you watch the channel, you know where I lean politically. I'm not here to throw my viewpoints at you. I'm going to share some of my opinions, and I'm trying to be as unbiased as I can. But right now, I'm frustrated at both sides, to be perfectly honest. It's frustrating to see the extreme left and the extreme right and how they're handling this. And it just shows why so many people have become so disinterested in politics. It's immensely frustrating to watch how these sides are handling it, spreading disinformation, et cetera, et cetera. But so let me start with what I teased in the title and the Hollywood reactions, because and then I'll go the other side. But look at this. Josh Gad, there could be two truths. Biden is going to win this thing, and America has shown itself to be dangerously, I can't say the word, ist is what I will say it, pathetic and more willing to vote for this than their own lives. But at least we will get to fight another day. Count the votes. Now look, Josh, how is this going to make America less divisive and more united when you are generalizing a whole swath of people as ists, pathetic ists? How dare they? I mean, the reality, as I've learned when I stepped out of my own liberal bubble and stepped into Florida and met conservatives, I didn't become conservative, but I learned to become a centrist is really where I'm at. Still trying to figure out what I want to label myself as, but I don't like the Democratic Party. I don't like the Republican Party. I don't like either party. I don't want to be in either of those parties. But what's frustrating is as I've met the other side, they're not all that way. These generalizations, these broad generalizations that celebrities like Josh makes out of the heat of the apocalypse is coming, it's scary and it's dangerous and it's not helpful. It's exactly what you're criticizing your enemy. It's the same. You're doing the same thing. And it's like enough is enough when you get this drastic. It just how can I listen to you? Look, you're allowed to be frustrated right now. People are allowed to be frustrated now given what's happening. I'm going to get to their side. So hear me out. Both sides here. I'm going to try and put it all out there where I stand, and maybe you agree, maybe I don't. But it's not just Josh. There's other celebrities out there. Chrissy Teigen. It's insane what our fears are if we lose compared to their fears if Biden wins. Like, we will probably all die or be handmaids, and they're worried about bathroom safety. I mean, the generality, right? The broadness of just like how evil versus good is what it's always labeled as. And look, I understand some people feel that way, but to use your platform and just put out there on Twitter, you are dividing the country because you don't know enough conservatives to talk to them, because that's not what they all think. Is there some that do? Sure. Are there some you're not going to agree with? Absolutely. Does that mean you should just label them all that way? Is that going to help bring the country together? No, it's not. It's absolutely not. Greg Grunberg, remember, they believe in science. They don't. They wear this. They don't. They are cautious and voted early. They didn't. The early voting ballots are being counted. Be patient. I got to be careful of my keywords because if you say too many things, ding, it's frustrating. But these are the reactions we're getting. I mean, and of course, a lot of these people, I guess we're waiting to find out if this is the end of Avengers Infinity War, where half of us all are dusted out, or Avengers Endgame, where we all unite and defeat Thanos, is what this has become. And look, personally, do I share some of those feelings? Maybe. But am I going to do that publicly to just be frustrated with and say that all R's are R's and L's? We'll call it, or R's and D's. Do I think all R's are ists? No, they aren't. They aren't. I've learned that by meeting them. They're not all that way. And that's what's frustrating to me of just this. Now, let's go the other way, right? Let's go the other way because if you look at this right now, they are, it's leaning towards Joe, right? And our president wants to stop the counting. He's made it clear. He's already started trying to start a legal precedent to stop the counting in where he's winning in Pennsylvania. even though they're waiting and there's still votes in Philadelphia because I don't know what the heck's going on over there, why it's taking so damn long. Oh, I know, because they wouldn't let them count them early. They purposely did this to create chaos and confusion. They purposely didn't allow the states who asked to try to do it early because then I don't get it all done and we have to do it on the day. That's election day is when you got to get the results. Here's Chris Jericho jumping in. I mean, I'm not political, but isn't it strange to anybody else that this is the first time for the first time ever we have to wait a day, 2 days, 5 days, 10 days to find out who won the presidential race? And a lot of people are stupidly agreeing with this guy. No, this is common. Thank you, Phil. 2000, we had to wait until December 12th to learn Supreme Court ruling between Gore and Bush. Delete this. George Washington, when I was reading, had to wait. This is not by any chance the first time this has happened. Sometimes it does. Sometimes a opponent will concede. Concede. Did I say anyway? They'll give up. But the reality is, Al Gore probably shouldn't have. In that debate, there was question of what was going on, and so that's the next thing that's happening. So now what's happening now is our president is out there trying to create this idea that now. What's happening, and this is a whole separate topic of a video, which I don't really want to get into because it's complicated to me, and I honestly do see both sides of this. But Twitter is calling this misleading. They're blocking it, and this is obviously sending a lot of people in upset. How dare you? You're changing the effects, and to an extent, I agree. Like, he should be able to just put out there what he wants. At the same time, this is a lie. There's nothing to prove this, and this is dangerous. And for our civic duty and process, this will only create not only division, but it could create serious actions that are scary. And so, look, if you don't like Twitter's rules, get off Twitter. That's my stance. Like that's not they are a company that can make those decisions. Oh, no, it's a public company. Dude, it's their site. They can do what they want. Now, is there a hypocrisy that they don't do it both ways? Should they be doing it to Josh? Yes. I think because this isn't fair. This isn't true either. If you're going to put a policy to put this in, you got to then hire the people to really make sure you're doing it across the board, which they don't do. In that regard, I do agree with the complaints about Twitter because they're really focused on him. But they're focused on him for a reason right now because what he's doing isn't right. It's not right. And he's been doing it all day and all night. Last night, just as I was winning, Democrats, the one by one, started to magically disappear. Surprise ballot dumps were counted. Very strange. Look, this is where the other side. This is now me calling out the other side. This is now blowing up to lots of people online on the extreme right who are now saying it's all rigged. It's all been a trick. These surprise secret ballot dumps. I mean, this is not true. This is not true. No, there weren't any magic votes that appeared. These were mail-in ballots because we are in the Bud Light. And a lot of people who would vote that way didn't want to go in person. So that's why those mail-ins are leaning one way than the other because of that. And because the president told his base not to vote that way. So everybody on the other side is now being so extreme and, I can't believe it. This is no way it's real. No way it's real. Come on, stop the counting. It's done. We did it. Enough. I mean, the hypocrisy there of stop the counting. Okay, well, if you want to stop the counting, Joe won. So now what's he going to do? Oh, so we'll stop the counting here but not here because I still could, it's only 84%. I could still get it here. So we'll count those, but stop it here because, we're done. I mean, this is ridiculous, guys. This is ridiculous, the hypocrisy. And it just shows you, it's like, all right, so some people are out there saying, but Andy, no. There really is some questionable democratic, things that are happening. Okay. Right now, what our president doing is also very questionable. Why are you ignoring that? I mean, dude, you want to stop the counts here, but not here. How do you justify that action? How can anybody justify that action? All votes need to count. All these votes that came in. The other thing you got to remember about these polling stations, right? Democrats and Republicans are allowed to be there to witness it. Now, I'm sure they don't catch everything, and that goes both ways. But the reality is they can question and ask and verify any ballots they do. And they've been, and nothing, and we've talked to all the people in the states that really matter, especially. There have been no problems, red flags, anything. They are monitoring it very closely and assuring that everything's going by the book. So, I mean, what are we supposed to do? If you're going to cry foul, it goes both ways then. Who's to say the early ones weren't there wasn't something that went there? I mean, the problem is if you open up that can of worms, then it all has to be opened up, right? And what's frustrating is it's always the extreme R is always blaming the extreme D, and it's never the other way around. But now it's actually they're both now complaining the same thing. And the reality is, count them all, shut up, be patient, count them all. Anybody who came in by midnight election day, postmark that day, they count them. Might take some time. Oh well. President doesn't become the president until January. You got some time. Count them all. And then if they're really slim or there's any problems that we've seen, then go and do the proper recounts and other proper things that we need to do. I mean, it seems pretty clear cut to me. I don't know what we're still fighting about. But anybody who's going to fight the night of to say stop counting, that sounds weird. That sounds like someone who's nervous is what that's my problem. And so, look, if this went the other way, I would be calling this out. No, you wouldn't. No, I would. To me, it's very important that our votes matter, our votes count, that there's a democracy, and that we're doing it the proper way. So, there was a whole thread that was being shared to me. This screenshot about, oh no, there were 100,000 votes that came out. It was proven false. It was a typo, and they were just entered, and so it made it jump. And I've talked to people who are watching that number. Both Republicans and Democrats are going up. So that theory that was out there, not unproven, just screenshots that are going out. And the guy who started sharing that screenshot acknowledged, I found out I was wrong. Trump's tweeting about it like it's a thing. And then once that gets into certain people's heads, clearly it's all rigged. There's no way around it. And that's what's really scary here. So you got that problem with the R's. And then you got the Hollywood L's and they're the D's. They're over there just completely being divisive. Oh yeah, all these people they're ists and they're pathetic. Pfft, how dare they? I mean, we are a mess. We are still a mess. No one wants to listen or have conversations with the other side, and it's disheartening. It is disheartening. And I'm sure some of you are going to come at me. Andy, how dare you miss this? Look, I'm here talking to you, sharing my thoughts, trying to be as not political, but share my frustration on both sides, and trying to offer the mid-ground of like, guys, my advice, be patient. Be patient and listen. If you don't actually know any conservatives, maybe go talk to some. And hey, if you don't know any Democrats, maybe go talk to some. Try to find some that'll be open and talking to you. They're out there. Have those conversations. Try to be civil with each other. That's how we actually grow as a society. And look, the vote happens. Whoever wins, as long as we've done it by the book, hey, we win. You gotta give up and say, all right, good luck. May the best person win. Right? That's how we have to be as a society. Otherwise, it's just anarchy. So look, this is frustrating. This is crazy. It's clearly not going to be this way for a while. But that's how Hollywood and everyone else is reacting. Tell me your thoughts civilly as you can down in the comments below. Who knows if YouTube will even... Let me try. Ready? Do you get one? Did you get an ad? Did it come? Probably not. Well, no, I'm gonna post this anyway, just because I don't know what the heck else to talk to you guys today. If you got a topic out there or something else, please, Andy, this would be a fun one. Find something, hit me up on social media, share it, and if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, smash and hit that all alerts, and make sure to smash that like button as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more here on Popcorn Planet. Dun 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 dun.